Hi, my name is Manpreet Dhillon from Veza Global. Over the last couple of months, we've been reflecting a lot on Veza's journey up until now. In October, we celebrated 5 years of Veza and everything that we've been able to create and impact, and the people that have been a part of our journey, and just the changes that have happened. I wanted to take you on this little journey with us as we reflect on the 5 years. Veza started as a coaching company for women of color, moving them into leadership. We had some coaching programs, called Connected Leader, and a deeper connection. And I don't even remember all the programs that we had, but we really started with the community component. We had these amazing women that would show up at the events, engage in online forums and conversations, and go deep within themselves. They really went to the depths of understanding who they were and what their role in society was, and the cultural programming that they were being impacted by and on their journeys through their families, culture, society, and just ancestrally what was impacting them. We used spiritual coaching. We used methods like Akashic Records. We really dove into positive psychology, emotional intelligence, and really, went to the depths of their souls. But we knew that the organizations also needed to be changed. We knew that, these women can do the work, but if organization systems are still oppressing them and creating this oppression constantly, these women can't get anywhere that they deserve to be. They can't be at the leadership table where they deserve to be included part of decision making. And so we started working with government agencies. We actually started with a trade mission for women entrepreneurs. And we took a group of women entrepreneurs to Croatia, and we really focusing on exporting and what does that look like. And because we knew that when women export to one more country, their revenues drastically increase. And only about 11 to 15% of women actually export. And so we took this group of women to Croatia, really thinking about leadership, but also they did trade missions. They understood what a trade mission was about, did information finding. And we were supported by the Canadian government and the Croatian government and other not-for-profits who supported this work. We held conferences there, we held discussions, we did keynotes, and really even worked with each other to develop each other's leadership. And it was a really, truly amazing experience. And that actually grounded Veza. Veza means connection in Croatian. So we grounded in the country that our name was born in. And then we went from there. We did, we journeyed into doing talks in Serbia, Kosovo, India, Netherlands. We've worked with partners in companies in Canada, the US, as well as different UN agencies as well in Georgia and Netherlands as well. And it's been, a magnificent. We had the opportunity to work with Immigrant Employers Council at BC and developed a skills development program for skilled immigrants coming in. And it was a career development program to help them get the jobs that were corresponding to the occupations they came from. One of the most important fundamental things of that program is called Ascend Employment. Go look it up. And it's gone national. It's amazing to watch. But the fundamental things was looking at the strengths that these immigrants were bringing in to the workplace and into the way that they showed up in the world. And that was the most powerful piece. And it's about how do we build on that confidence, the strengths. And, every time they hear that they don't have the Canadian work experience, they have the counter argument of, well, like, I have all these other transferable skills. We wanted to get away from people having to hear, oh, you don't have the Canadian work experience, because we know that people who work in global environments bring real transferable skills that are so powerful. We worked with the HR tech group now called the TAP Network on the diversity inclusion project that was funded by the provincial government. Again, this project has gone national, which is amazing. We did audits, and we were able to create an assessment tool where organizations were able to assess, not just from the inclusion side on people's experiences and their staff members' experiences, but also the staff members were able to assess the organization on how well the organization was doing on inclusion, diversity, equity, accessibility, and belonging. From the assessment, they got a score on the maturity model, on Veza's maturity model that we've, it's been a hybrid of all the models that are out there. And this maturity model really looks at where organizations are and where they need to be going and what it would take to be an industry leader. This assessment also gave us the scoring, helped to create benchmarks for industry. It helped to create benchmarks that organizations can look at year to year and where they are at and how they move forward as well. We also did audits, and these audits were from the HR lens, inclusive marketing, supplier diversity, and inclusive, product and program and service design. And under the HR tech group, we did it was focused on culture and teams, whereas with other clients, we work on the other aspects as well. And we, through the HR tech group project, we created a hub of open source, resources that's still out there. And this community that's been created through this hub has been unreal. I mean, people are actually doing the work. They know how to do the work because there's templates and resources that they can utilize to support that. And we've worked with organizations that are universities, tech companies, police forces, cities, construction and real estate and property management. And it's been such a real, hospitality actually as well. And it's been such an amazing experience for us because every time we learn, but also we're able to take, what we've learned from working with clients from various different industries and how do we actually what are recommendations and tools that these organizations can utilize to amplify their move on the maturity model? And we also provide education and training, and that's morphed over the time. We still provide authentic leadership training for women leaders and especially women of color leaders. And what does that look like? How does that show up? Because we really focus on feminine leadership principles, and because we know that if organizations follow feminine leadership principles, which is a lot of it brings in the indigenous way of life. My background's Punjabi, even some of the cultural pieces from my background as well. We look at the indigenous communities around the world. They follow feminine leadership principles, looking at collaboration, relationships, community, and how important that is within all organization systems. And so taking those feminine leadership principles and how do we apply, the lens to the systems that we live in right now, and actually make them more inclusive, because that's actually how people will welcome others in and we actually create true belonging. This Veza's journey has been such a powerful one. There's been so many people that have supported us. Both we've had a lot of team members, because we've been a training organization. We've also had magnificent experts, people who had decided to go into consulting, joined on our organization to really amplify and really move us forward. The trajectory has been amazing. We can't do this alone. One person can't do this alone. It really does take the community. Everyone from the advisors to supporters to people who just share our materials, and then especially our team members. Our team members have been so unreally dedicated to the purpose and the mandate of the organization, really amplifying it. It's always interesting as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, because I make so many mistakes. There's things that, how your mindset as a CEO gets in the way sometimes. And it's been amazing to be surrounded by people who have the compassion, the empathy, and, they will gently be like, hey, what about this? What about this? Helping me grow as an individual and as a leader. And also to help me grow this organization to the global place that we are. So with this, we're sharing this because it's been such a magnificent journey. And we wanted to thank all of you who have been on it with us. And it's been such a pleasure. And we're so excited for the next 5. And we are always looking forward to your feedback and insights on what you think is needed and how Veza can actually increase its impact, increase how we deepen the impact that we're making. And also, how do we engage new people in this work? We want to create a lot of champions. We have this mandate of creating 1 million champions by 2025. And it's how do we do that? We want people to be out there talking in community, bringing with compassion and empathy and creating more connectedness. We really want to create more connected champions. So we look forward to your responses and we look forward to your engagement. And we love to hear from you always on ideas, introductions, or anything else that we can do to deepen the impact of creating a more connected world, inclusive world, and a place that everyone belongs. We all have a place in this world and we all deserve to feel like first-class citizens. Thank you so much.